We've been walking for 2 hours now through the countryside, and we're actually in search of a temple which is over 5,000 years old. It's actually the second oldest religious building in existence, and it's somewhere around here. And just to give you some perspective, this was before the wheel was invented, before they had metal tools. They found some small spheres made of stone which were probably being used as ball bearings to guide things on. Now this is interesting. Here's a gun belt just lying here on the side. This is for putting your shots in. I'm quite sure if that's what that is. Anyway, so wish us luck. It's strange having seen that gun belt. This feels like walking through a ghost town in the Wild West. It's taken 3 hours. It's windy, it's rainy, but we've got here. This is the temple of Ggantija in Gozo. Older than Stonehenge, the pyramids. It's the second oldest religious monument or building known to mankind. Let's go and explore the temple. It's actually a temple complex consisting of 2 temples combined. Now what I find amazing about this is it has a shape reminiscent of modern churches, having a layout almost like a man. So obviously they've had to give it a bit of support there. Comes with a good view. It was obviously built on the top of this hill for a reason. Some nice palm trees, but they didn't have those there. So, the earliest part of this temple is 5,600 years old, or estimated from that period. Actually, as I enter in here, there is a feel. So let's remember, as we explore this, that when they made it, the wheel hadn't been invented. There were no metal tools at all. But don't you think some of the layout here reminds you of Stonehenge? So all the way over here near Malta and Gozo, they have a similar style tradition. Yes, Kitty's just pointed out this is probably a fireplace. She probably remembers it. So it seems to me that area with the fire was the Holy of Holies. If we look at the whole thing here, it's laid out very much like a church with two wings here. And there seems to be a fire on one side. The whole thing is southeast facing. I have a feeling this was the altar here. So ancient hands, inspired by an innate spirituality, carved these. Without the sound of metal. To worship the unseen. During the start of religion. $5,600 years ago. A couple of things worth mentioning is they found red clay which they think lined the whole temple, so you can imagine this wasn't quite as rough looking in the time, and that some of the stones have lots of little holes drilled on them which they think might have taken a liquid sacrifice, but no one really knows. In this area I'm looking at, there were some heads, some limestone heads found, which might be quite interesting. And someone's graffitied the word of wham on there, which I think really adds to it. And now we come to the second of the two temples. looking at that hole on both sides, that was some form of a gate. Looks like we've got a lot of graffiti from the 1800s there. Again, here's Malta, and this place has a completely different feel. Completely different feel. Obviously this was some form of a table. And here's the second gate. And the wind blowing through the scaffolding and the storm rising gives this an eerie feel. Lightning in the sky. There's been a freak rainstorm here.